Can I do an art journaling page with scrapbooking supplies? Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and I'm working in my art journal. This is actually from 49 in Market, and I'm using these kind of traveler's notebook style pieces to make a few art journals. And I have some in progress, and I'm wanting to finish up this one. It's getting pretty close, and today I'm actually going to work on the front page, which I haven't done yet. And I want to do both pages. And I'm wanting to use mostly scrapbooking supplies, a little less mixed media, a little more scrapbooking, but we all know mixed media is going to find its way in. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to play today with the Vicki Boutin Print Shop collection. I also have her stencils pulled out. That's going to help a lot. So I will put you all on fast forward. Let's make some art. All right, scrapbooking supplies, not just for scrapbooking anymore. I have used them before in my art journal process, but I've never really started off a full page just with scrapbooking supplies. I love the Vicki Boutin lines. She has done some collabs with 49 in Market. I love her own collections with American Crafts. She has such a cool mixed media feel, and I find her papers and her ephemera and all of her designs just really inspiring. So I kind of thought, as I am digging back into art journaling, as I'm finding my groove again creatively after what has been a crazy year, I thought, let's go with something that's inspiring me. I really want to stick with things that are bringing me joy. And if her papers bring me joy, then why not start with that as a jumping off point for an art journal page? So that's what we're going to do. I layered a couple of the different papers. I was using a few scraps that I had on hand before I cut up new papers, and that's taking up a huge portion of my page. Let me get the fold right. That looks really, really nice. I don't want to waste the rest of these circles, so I'm just going to trim them out and use them to break up some of the very distinct patterns. See how there is the four circles at the bottom, evenly spaced, all that business? I want it to feel a bit more random. And the way I'm going to accomplish that is by moving these other circles into some different parts on the spread. See how it's looking just a little bit more haphazard, as if they're just tossed over onto the spread. That is exactly what I'm going for. That gives it more of the handmade feel as opposed to everything being perfectly spaced across the page. Never shy away from using a ton of adhesive in your art journals. In fact, it probably would have been really smart if I had gone ahead and used some liquid adhesive, but alas, I had my Tombow tape runner right there, and so that's what I went for. I just put plenty of adhesive on these pieces, and I love this look. Like, this look feels really good to me. I like how it's coming together. And now I can just play with adding on top of it. Something about using the pattern papers as a base just felt very freeing, and adding things to the top of that base. Sometimes when I have to start with the mixed media to create something to build upon, I focus too much on that, and I don't know where to go from there. It's the white page syndrome that we all talk about, but putting a pattern paper down went a long way to kind of inspiring the creativity, because I saw little pockets starting to open up where other things could go. All right, I am pulling out something that I haven't used in a while, and that would be some heavy gesso. This is heavy white gesso. I'm grabbing a thick card right here. This is like an old hotel key card, just something like that. And I'm scraping the gesso through the stencil. This is a Vicki Boutin stencil, and I'm being real sloppy on purpose. I want it to feel messy. I want this kind of diagonal going up to the top from the bottom left. I love these broken heart pieces. I think that looks really cool. I want to bring them in to a few more places on the page, but again, I'm being mindful of leaving some open Spots. Often I get very excited when I'm creating and I start to fill up all of the negative space. And there's nothing wrong with filling negative space except when you do it without a plan. I don't want to like get out of control and fill the negative space and then not know where to go from that point. All right, so I set that aside. I let it dry all the way, and now I have a paint pen. This is actually a Sharpie paint pen. I prefer Posca paint pens, but I am out of black, so I need to grab one of those. But this is a Sharpie paint pen, and I just wanted to bring in, because there is black in that top left, I felt like it needed some more black throughout the spread, so I'm tracing half of some of the hearts in the black just to accent it and just to bring it out in the rest of the spread. So we're going to add that into place. Once that is done, then we're going to start playing with some ephemera pieces. Now, the trick to adding paper ephemera pieces to your spread is to make sure they feel fully incorporated. Not just that they're like set on top of whatever mixed media you've put on, but making sure that they feel I don't know, planned, not just thrown over the top of a spread. So the way I'm going to do that is by contrast. So we have good times up in the top left. It is white lettering surrounded by black. I love that it brings a little light to that corner that was most definitely feeling pretty dark. Then I have the word today in a big bold script. I love it. It has a little white speckle to it, but in order to make it feel like it belongs to the spread a little bit more, I'm actually going to come back with a white paint pen. This time I will use the Posca paint pen, and that will allow me to highlight that just a bit more. Now you can see I wanted to play with other ephemera pieces. I was starting to pull in florals. The florals did not match well with the circles. It was too similar. I want the circles to feel like a thing, and if I started putting florals on top, it was just going to be too many shapes. So I just decided, you know what, let's go with the words for right now and then see if there's other ephemera that kind of brings itself to the forefront. Now, the white highlighting is not too much. It's not over the top, but it's just enough to make this paper piece feel just a little bit more purposeful on the spread. I love how it comes together. I could probably go back and do another layer of the Posca paint. Posca white paint pens are the best white paint pens. Hands down, they're my favorite. Even so, sometimes you have to layer paint pens. This is all dark paper that I'm going on top of. So it's something to consider, and I might go back before I put this art journal away. All right, I'm adding another little detail. So the Good Times has this stitching detail. And you know how I said I wanted everything to feel incorporated? Well, if I repeat that stitching detail in other ways on the page, then it makes it again feel purposeful. So I just brought in a Papermate, I think that's a Flare, I forget what it is. It's a Papermate pen, and I added stitching detail on the edges and then to some of the hearts. Now we're going to add a few sarcastic remarks over here under today. I love words, I love phrases, and I love funny phrases too. So I'm going to add a few little moments right here under this word that just kind of make me laugh. The ones I ended up going with were, if it requires pants or a bra, it's not happening today. I meant to behave, but there were too many other options, and I've got it all together, but I forgot where I put it. All of those definitely describe me on different days. So I get those settled. That white space is bugging me at this point. It needs something. It needs something. And I found this little bird, and I thought the bird was so cute, and it fit perfectly in that little space. But why would the bird be by itself? That kind of makes me sad. So then I found this, the blue bird, a friend, and the yellow bird, and we're going to add these to the spread. They need something extra. They're getting lost a little bit, so I'm going to put them on top of black paper, and that will make them pop just a bit more. I kind of imagine the birds are two friends that are having a very sarcastic conversation back and forth based on the quotes that I put on the page. So once the bird friends make it on, that's going to be it for this art journal spread. Let me know what you think, and let me know, have you done scrapbooking supplies in your art journal? How do you like to incorporate them? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. As always, I have linked the supplies that I used down in the description box of this video, so you can feel free to check that out. And I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon members. Thank you all for your continued support. If you are interested in having access to extra content, early access to YouTube videos, printables, so many different things, you can find out more about joining my Patreon over at patreon.com/ScrappyWife. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.